Greetings from Oranjestad, Aruba. Listen, people, Zoe checking back. I'm doing this video here, and I'm just going to dive straight in, but I'm doing this video here to discuss the entry into Aruba as well as the hiccups I have had getting here. Just so you know, all right? This is for those of you who support the channel, those of you who support the group, you know. Um, yeah, just stay tuned. But anyway, so I booked my flight May 31st, and I did that on purpose because I saw on the US Marshals website that they require 72 hours to report international travel to the country's destination. I believe this was the smart website. You can probably Google it, or if I can find it, I'll put it on the screen for you. But anyway, so I did that last minute. Some of you may have had, success booking 2 to 3 months in advance. I don't recommend that. And this is just for me. I personally do not recommend that, and it's because when you're not required to register, giving them that far in advance gives them the heads up to notify the other country that you're going to. So that's why I don't do that. Personally, with me, I'm not required to register, so I'm not going to do any of that. Right? I'm not gonna give them heads up. I'm not gonna give them time to do anything. So May 31st, when I booked my flight, I started looking into the entry requirements into Aruba. Of course, I've been here last year, but things could have changed. You have to always check just to make sure. There's nothing worse than booking your flight, paying for everything, and then getting to the airport, and then they're like, we can't let you board the flight without X, Y, and Z. So I looked into things, right? There is a passenger embarkment form, and I will go over that in 1 second. But I did book my flight. I went through cheapoair.com. I don't recommend cheapoair.com. All right, these people are just everyone's Indian. Not to say that there's a problem with Indian people. It just doesn't seem legit. It doesn't seem like it's stateside, or it seems like the company is just all over the place. So when I booked my ticket, I paid for everything. And as soon as I drove away from the hotspot, the Wi-Fi that I was using to book my flight, because I was sitting at Starbucks at the time, when I left, I got a text message alert saying that my flight had been canceled. And I'm like, what? They're telling me that the flight to Aruba had been canceled because they didn't have my birth date or any of my other information, which is just crazy because I know I put it in. So I'm calling the airlines back. And I'm telling the airline, hey, this is not right. I paid for the flight, I booked everything, I put all my information in. I'm not understanding what you want from me. And the trying to get someone on the phone is just so difficult. They leave you on hold for like 15 to 20 minutes. The longest I waited was 39 minutes. Believe that. I couldn't reach anyone. But by the time I finally did reach someone, they went ahead and canceled the flight, and they said that they refunded my flight. So I'm like, okay, give me my money back. They said that it would take 7 to 14 business days to return the money that I had paid within 30 seconds. Imagine that. I was furious, man. I was livid, but I still had to get out of there in a timely manner. So I basically had to pay for 2 flights immediately. Okay, so I said, let's just cancel the cheapo air flight. Let's cancel the any service that I have with you guys. The insurance, that is what I purchased with them as well, and I also purchased a seat as well. There were a couple of other things that I purchased with them, so I had them refund everything. Right. All right. So when I got back onto my trusted app, in which I use Kiwi, right? Um, I decided not to go with them either, is because they are a third party app, but they've really never done me wrong. One other time, this was like 3 years ago, but other than that, they really haven't done me wrong. So I just decided to insure my flight by going to the airline directly. My apologies, which was American Airlines to get to Aruba. So I found the same flight, which was from Austin, Texas to Miami, from Miami to Oranjestad, Aruba. It was the same amount. The flight came out to about $422, right? Um, so I went ahead and booked it. Upon doing that, there is a passenger embarkment form that you do have to be aware of with Aruba. And I'm going to get into that right now. All right, so this right here is the site that I use to fill out the ED card. All right, it's the embarkment form for Aruba specifically. You come here, and there are multiple sites that you can actually go to, but I came to this one. It's called enteraruba.com. You click apply now, and when it comes to this page here, you type in all your details, fill out the information, and on the side, on the left side right here, you can see they're asking for passport details, arrival details, personal information, trip information. This is just to basically speed up the process for when you arrive in Aruba. All right, it's going to make things a whole lot easier. No, they're not doing background checks. This is not the purpose of this card right here. They're not doing background checks, so you can stop worrying about that. All right, so you come here, you fill out this card here. This site right here, you fill out this form here, click submit. In the end, you make your payment. I paid $68 for mine. Like I said, there are other sites that you can go to, but this right here is a trusted one. I used this same site last year and things went well. So I used it again this year and things still went well, right? So you pay and it's $68 and they will send you an email in 24 hours with your QR code telling you that you are clear to board the flight. So this helps. You're not going to be allowed to get on the flight without this done. So it helps you and stops you from flying all the way to the country and them denying you entry because you don't have anything ready, right? All right. So when you're done filling that out, this is what you get. Thank you for choosing online Aruba ED card service. All right. Payment was successful, of course. And like I said, right here within 24 hours, we will email your personal ED card with the same email to the same email address that you provided earlier. Our turnaround time is usually quicker. So this is a trusted site. I would recommend you use this site, but there are other sites. You might find a site that is actually a bit cheaper than this one because this one is 68. You might find one for 40. I don't know. But this is the one that I trust and I know it works and I know it's not a scam. All right, so moving forward, I fill out the traveler's embarkment form, the passenger's embarkment form, and I then, on the day that it's time for me to travel, I board the plane. I get to Miami, of course, and on the day that I land into Aruba, what happens is I'm flying in. As you can see, I fly in, I go through the terminal, and right here, if you're going to get denied entry, right here is where the agents are usually waiting for you. Some of you already know that, right? So right here, I don't see anyone. I'm filming to, film the terminal just to see where are they, to show where they're going to be standing, where they're going to be waiting. And if they do, the moment that they stop me, I'm going to shut my camera off, but I don't see anyone. Um, I'm thinking I'm good to go, in which I really am, to tell you the truth. I go straight through the immigration, and the immigration has actually changed. So what it is now is an automated um, kiosk. You approach the kiosk, you take your passport, open it to the photo page, and you scan it. And when you scan it, the gate just opens up, right? No issue at all. I'll walk straight through the gate. And when I look back, I noticed that there are two other passport agents, immigration agents there that you really don't have to see. They're only there to speed the process up or to cause really they're only there just to make sure if you don't have any issues or if you filled out your traveler's embarkment form or anything like that. They're only there for that. The kiosk is where you scan your passport, it opens up and you just walk straight through, go get your baggage. So I go downstairs, I get my baggage, and right next to baggage is customs. You go through customs, which is a ridiculously long line. All right. It's like they made it faster to go through immigration only to take forever at customs where you declare things and whatever. Right. So you get your bag, stand in a long line. And after you do that, you put your bag on the conveyor, which is an x-ray machine. They ask you if you're traveling alone. You say no or whatever. Um, your bag goes through, you grab it, you go straight out, get your taxi. Literally that easy. I really didn't even talk to anyone. So you're gonna get your SIM card at the airport. It's gonna be my recommendation that you get it at the airport. Don't wait until you get in town. I understand that they might be a little more expensive at the airport, but when you get inside of your taxi, you're gonna need that Wi-Fi, right? You're gonna need that hotspot. You're gonna need that signal so that you can track where that taxi is taking you. And this is no matter what country you go to, this is all safety. You're going to tell him the address to where you're going to go, but you're also going to have it on your Google Maps on your phone as well so that you could make sure he's going the correct route. So this is why I always say it's important to get your SIM card at the airport. But that was my process for getting in Aruba. It was very simple. It was very easy. A different process than last year. When I came last year, what happened was I went through immigration. I handed over my passport. She flipped through and she stamped my passport. Now, I'm going to show you this. This is the stamp from last year, right? As you can see, it bled through. So I think they're doing away with that whole stamping the passport because clearly I didn't get stamped this time, but last year I did get stamped. I think they're doing away with that process. Personally, as you can see, it bleeds through the page. It damages the other stamps on the other side of the page, and that's no good. All right, so a lot of countries they're actually shying away from that. Aruba does not stamp passports. Peru does not stamp passports, which doesn't mean that you're not in the system. It just means that it's kind of pointless to stamp the passport, right? It looks better for you, but to them, it's pointless. So, yeah, that was really the process. Um, you have any questions, comments, concerns? Definitely reach out to me. We'll discuss it any further. I do want to add to this video. My passport is not stamped. I do not have the endorsement in my passport. Um, am I legally required to have the stamp in my passport? Maybe. I don't know exactly. You know, the way that the law is written for who is required to have the stamp is really unclear. It's a gray area, right? So it's just to see whose passport has been canceled or revoked. You really don't know unless you use it, as I've said before. So do I see myself going into the post office and saying, hey, I need the endorsement in my passport? Absolutely not. I will not do that. I'm not going to recommend you do that. I'm not going to recommend that you move like me. I'm not going to recommend you do that. I can't do that. All right. To be fair, I have to tell you to go get your stamp in your passport, and it's to keep you safe legally. I do this because I don't give a fuck what they do. All right. I've had it. I've complied with everything that I could possibly comply with. And before they revoke this passport, I'm going to get some damn good use out of it. That's just me. You don't have to move like me. Let's just be very clear. I move this way to show you that you do not have to move this way. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes any damn sense. But anyway, I do not recommend that you travel without a stamped passport. I have to tell you to go get your stamp passport. In all seriousness, go get your stamp passport. I do this for the reasons that I've said previously. All right. I'm going to make sure I get good use out of this. And plus, I paid my hard earned money for it. And not only that, I was not asked on the application, am I required to register? And in which I'm really not required to register because where I live, my jurisdiction does not tell me that I need to register. So I think it's an injustice to sit up here and tell me that I'm required to have a stamp in my passport when I'm not required to register in the place that I live in. It's ridiculous. Fuck the federal laws. So, people, that's going to be it for now. I just wanted to put this video out and show you guys how to travel to Aruba. I think Aruba is, um, for me, it's very expensive. It's not really a travel destination for me that I should really care about, wanting to spend long periods of time there. You might get 2 to 3 days out of me and I'm out of there. Um, but I use that as my buffer country to go pretty much anywhere in South America. And of course, you still have to be careful and mindful how you move because I did find out that Peru is linked to Colombia, Bolivia, Chile, and there was a couple of other countries that I do know for a fact that they do share databases with. So if one of those countries denies you entry, you're going to be denied in a lot of other countries in South America. All right, they are connected, they are linked. So just being clear about that. Be careful. Reach out to me before you travel, and let's discuss what your options are. I've said it once. I've said it twice. You've been warned. Until next time, peace.